Hey everyone, welcome. We are still here in Little Rock, and today we are going to a couple places. The first place we're going to is Little Rock, Arkansas's Central High School, where back in 1957, during September, for 3 weeks, there was a standoff as probably the most famous case of integration took place, where the Little Rock Nine had to be escorted into the high school based upon the standoff between the Arkansas National Guard and the governor of the state versus the federal government. So always wanted to see this. They've got a really nice museum back here behind us that you can go into, and catty corner from it is the high school. So I'm gonna flip you around and show that to you. So this is the high school itself, and back in September 1957, the Little Rock Nine were ordered to integrate into Central High School, and it took something like 12,000 troops to get them into the high school because of the protests and the people that were against integration in our country during that time, which is a really sad chapter in American history. All up and down the road, they had to post federal troops to hold back the protesters, and eventually they were cleared enough to escort them in. Little Rock Central High Tigers. All right, I'm gonna come out a little bit here. I can't express to you just how big this is. What do you think, Ange?
Yeah, it's hard to believe. There's the building goes way down there.
This is a huge high school.
Huge school.
Yeah, this is a massive school. And back in the 50s, I wonder what the population would have been back then. But again, this would have been probably the one white high school. And there was a black high school, I imagine. And then they were bringing the black kids over here to integrate with the white kids. So that's what they did back then, is they spent a lot more money on the white kids, which is incredibly unfortunate that they would do stuff like that. But let's walk down there and check it out. These flowers are pretty. It's spring. It's a little cold. It's in the 50s today. It was like 40 degrees this morning when we got up, but it's warm enough here in the afternoon. We did look it up, and Little Rock has 201,000. Is that what you looked up?
Yes.
201,000 people in it. So it's a good size city. And but this is just a massive high school.
Right? It's like three stories.
It's got its own water feature out in front. This is beautifully cared for. All right, these are the steps leading up to the front doors of the high school, where the Little Rock Nine would have walked in. As the students came up those stairs and walked into these doors over here. Amazing part of our history in the United States. It's just an amazing part. So we're over at the museum across the street from Central High School, and there's some really cool stuff in here that talk about the history leading up to that event, as well as who each of the Little Rock Nine were. It's pretty amazing in here. Here's a picture of the Little Rock Nine getting Congressional Gold Medals from President Clinton back in '99. So here's a picture from 1957. And this is the high school. Over here, the light's in the way. It's kind of blurring everything, but that's the high school over here, and the street is here, and this is the corner, and that is right there. So that picture would have been taken going that way down the street where the high school is. And here's some more pictures. This one, Elizabeth Eckford was turned away by the National Guardsmen from the state of Arkansas. All right, so overall that was a fun trip. Good stop over here. We're gonna head over to the Clinton Presidential Library. We love going to presidential libraries. There's a lot to see and a lot to do. And regardless of what your politics are or what you think about the different presidents, it's still worthwhile to go and see the historical artifacts that they have, regardless of the celebration of who the person is. My own personal politics are what they are. I can still go to any presidential museum and appreciate the history that's in there and the accomplishments of what that president did while they held that position in office. So we're gonna head over there and check that out, and we'll take you with us. Come on. Okay, so we're over here at the Clinton Presidential Library, and it's this big, huge building here. Let's swing you around so you can see it. And it's right on the river, which is neat. This is a cool area, actually. And getting over here from where Little Rock High School was not difficult to do. This is actually a pretty easy town to navigate through. It is the weekend, so it could just be because it's the weekend and maybe the downtown gets a lot busier during that time. But it was pretty easy to get over here. It only took about 5 minutes. So, which is nice that everything's all over here together. So we're gonna check it out and go inside. All right. So this is one of the saxophones that Clinton played. This is the one he played at his Arkansas inaugural ball in 1993. Super cool. And then here's a recreation of the cabinet room in the Oval Office. Let's zoom out a little bit. It's neat. These are the archives. And it's kind of cool that they put them out here. You can't touch them, of course. They're all sealed and in boxes here, but they go all the way to the ceiling on either side, and you can see that they go all the way up. But these are the archives of all the letters and documents. They even have copies of his daily schedule this is just for 94. Oh, they have them for each year. For each month of each year, what his daily schedule was. From 8:50 in the morning until 1 o'clock at night, or 1 in the morning. This is neat.
The administration introduced its most ambitious initiative of the year, universal health care.
And this is just for 94. So 93 has its own timeline and daily schedule for the president. This is neat that they released all this. And it is publicly accessible. Amazing. You could figure out where he was on any given day at any time during his presidency. I love historical documents. Now these are all reproductions, you can tell here. But this is a reproduction, probably just a photocopy of a letter from Fred Rogers, from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, of course. Everyone knows Fred Rogers, to Bill Clinton, telling him how happy he is that he's the president and what great things he's doing for children. It's neat. All right, so they have a recreation of the Oval Office over here that you can get into. Well, I guess you can only get in there if you are taking pictures. And then an Oscar de la Renta dress for Hillary. So we just had a great conversation with Patsy back there, and she filled us in on these blue boxes are correspondence to the president, and this is only in this building 2 to 3% of all the correspondence that he has, that he's received from people that wrote letters to him and, you know, wanted to get a letter back from the President of the United States. Well, they kept every single letter. There's an archive here on the property which houses the rest of it. And so we're gonna keep walking around. Looking. Here's some more stuff that I really like. I like the stuff that's early life kind of stuff. There's his parents. His 3rd birthday. And his grandparents. Here's some other pictures of him, and he was in Hot Springs, where we just were in the fall. He went to Hot Springs High School, and there he was in the band, playing saxophone, and graduated from Hot Springs High School. And this is his college years, and when he became a Rhodes Scholar, and when he met Hillary. There they are. He was a little scruffy in college. All right, Ange, so we just got done with the Presidential Library. I'm gonna ask Ange what she thought of that here in a second, but it was a beautiful building. It's huge, it's gorgeous. We've been to other presidential libraries and they have just a ton of stuff, a ton of artifacts, a ton of stuff from the president's younger years. This did not seem like it had a lot of that, and there was a lot of empty space.
Correct, yeah.
And so it felt like it was big, it's massive, there's a lot of money in the infrastructure itself.
Just not as much stuff.
Right, not a lot of content behind it. So that was a little disappointing. Even the stuff from his younger years, those cases that we saw at the very end.
It was like 1 or 2 cases of that.
That was it, really. And I know he wasn't raised by his parents, he was raised by his grandparents, but there still should have been more, I would think. So the building is beautiful, but it's just kind of empty on the inside. It just felt empty.
You thought there should be a little bit more.
Right. So overall, it was interesting to go to, and gave us a better look into who he was as a president, what his motivations were, and where he came from. It was good.
Yeah,
it was a
watching
good
that
trip.
video was pretty informative about
Yeah.
his history too. So
Yeah, that was fun. So overall, it was fun. It was worth coming and seeing it. We had a blast. So we're going to go out on this bridge now and walk along that a little bit and get to see if we can get some good views of the Arkansas River. This is a really nice walking bridge here on the Arkansas River, and you can they've got a little winding path down here, and if you want you can look over. Ange, look at this on that log right there.
yeah,
There's some ducks and some turtles down there just hanging out all together, one big happy family. We know ducks and turtles all like to hang out together. And the Clinton Library is just right here. So we just walked out and came up here and started walking along here. And we're just gonna walk for a little bit. I don't think we're gonna go the entire length of the bridge, maybe halfway. But over there is North Little Rock. That's where we came from. That's where our hotel was. That's where we had our barbecue training, if you watched our previous video. And just a nice little park right here on the banks of the Arkansas River. Well, we love having our adventures and going on our road trips. We love going to presidential libraries. We love just getting out on the road and spending time together and seeing new things and going new places. And if you are looking for something similar, give us a call or go to our website, davisduotravel.com, and we can help plan out your next vacation. We really do specialize in cruises and Disney. Between the two of us and between the two major Disney parks, we've been over 100 times to Disney and Disneyland, Disney World. We've been on over 10 cruises on most of the major carriers, and would love to help you schedule your next family vacation, wherever that is. So Davis Duo Travel, we're also on Facebook and Instagram, and we can help you plan that trip of a lifetime, or maybe even just give you advice on a road trip and tell you about some of the great places that you can go and spend time with your family getting to know each other better. So we'll see you guys on the next video. That ends this one. And from Little Rock, Arkansas, and the Arkansas River, we'll see you later. Bye.